Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 14. So in Module 14, you are just prepping for your final piece that will go in your portfolio. And your portfolio assignment will be in the next module. And so you'll get the portfolio assignment so you can see what you're working on. And then the submission for the portfolio will be in Module 15 and 16. They kind of go together as the final for the class. So Module 14, though, is just that prep for the portfolio. You are submitting a final piece for a final peer edit, and then you're also submitting it to the online writing lab so that they can give you some feedback on your final piece. And I'll just show you what they look like. So the resources section here is just giving you some, actually there's nothing in it, does it? The portfolio assignment is here, and it is just an explanation of what you're going to be doing for your portfolio. So most creative writing classes have some kind of portfolio at the end, and basically it's not a lot of additional work. It is mostly to showcase what you've worked on throughout the semester. So you have so far done 2 workshops, a short story workshop and a poem workshop, and you submitted a piece to each one. And so what your task is now to go back to those workshop peer edits and see what your peers recommended that you change about it, and also go back to the instructor feedback for your story and your poem and see what was recommended there. Then you're going to actually make changes to those files, and you're going to submit them again in this portfolio. So it's going to be a revised version of that short story and that poem that you submitted for the workshop. Now, if you did not do the workshop assignment, then you're just going to have to pick one of your short stories and one of your poems and revise them based on instructor feedback. So just kind of keep that in mind. The other 2 parts of the portfolio are a portfolio reflection, which is this is very typical of any kind of portfolio assignment. So it's just kind of a 1-page, you know, what were you inspired by? How do you feel about your final product? And what you learned this semester. How did you feel about your revision? What you learned from revising? How do you feel about your final piece? All of that. What do you want me to know about your portfolio before grading it? So any kind of overall reflection information about the stuff that you've included in the portfolio is what you're going to put there in that reflection. The other thing that you're going to do is you submit your final piece, and your final piece will be a final piece of writing that you're going to submit is kind of your ultimate or cumulative piece that you've created for the semester, and I will show you that assignment here in just a minute. So the peer edit is just like we've done before. You're going to submit your final piece to this assignment. I'll change the due dates there, and you'll just go in and get 2 peers, and you're going to go in and do some suggestions for them. And you will not have a rubric. I need to change the directions. You'll not have a rubric for this one. It's just going to be the 10 annotated comments on there. And then typically this is something where I try to go in and provide some feedback as well, because that final piece won't really be graded till the end of the semester. And then your online submission to the online writing lab, I'll put the due date in there as well. This is going to be midweek, just like when you submit to the peer edit, you'll also submit to that online writing lab. So the online writing lab, this is the first time you have had a required assignment like this semester. And to do that, what's going to happen is I set up a task. We use BrainFuse as our online tutoring platform, and I can set up a task that is sent to your email. And basically what it does is show it's like it's all set up for you, and I have all the assignment information in there, and then all you have to do is submit your paper. So you actually just click on the file and submit it. If you decide you don't want to use the task, or you don't get it in your email or whatever, you can also just go into BrainFuse, and this is what it looks like. You'll go into submit paper, and then you'll choose what kind of work it is. In this case, creative writing. You could also select poetry if it's an actual poem, but if If it's a short story or a play or something, you might want to just put creative writing, and then you put in the class and the instructor and the assignment instructions, and then what you're having issues with. And then at the bottom is where you browse your file, upload it, and then submit. You need to give them enough time to respond to you, so before the end of the module, so that you can actually submit their response to the module. But really, any point this week you can do that. And then your response will come in here in the My Message Center. And you also, I think that gives you like a little icon here next to Writing Lab. If you have like a notification there, you might be able to see that as well. And then once they send you that file, all you have to do is download that file and click Start Assignment and submit that. So you'll be working on that as well. So you're taking that final piece that you're going to be working on, and I don't think the instructions got put into this module yet, so I'm going to have to fix that. Apparently I need a lot of stuff to fix. And so you'll see that as that final piece assignment here, and then so some more direction for you. But basically the final piece is just one more piece of writing that you can pick, a poem, you can pick a short story, you can do whatever you want, as long as you meet there'll be some requirements in there, but really just trying to, it'll be a little bit more open than some of the other assignments, so you won't be restricted by type, and you'll be able to like pick whatever topic you want and that kind of thing. So you may end up, a lot of students will pick something that maybe they've been working on in a journal. Maybe they'll have like a chapter of a book that they're writing, something that they want to include that they haven't had a chance to include yet. And so you have a lot more options for this. But we do want to get a little bit of feedback for that, because it does need to be a good, solid proofread, edited, that kind of thing. And then you'll be submitting the final draft of the portfolio and doing the final after this. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.